Hello, I'm Henry Bluefield and welcome to the channel. So my trading strategy has changed, but how much? Let's dive into it. Reasons why it's changed, what I'm now going to be doing instead, what was the catalyst for me to be motivated to look at changing my strategy, and what potential results are there going to be? Let's find out. So if you've been familiar with watching the other videos on trading, you'll know that I day trade Tesla stock. So let's dive into it and see, am I going to stop trading Tesla or trading other stocks? Let's go. If you've been watching my videos on trading, you'll know my strategy. I have two accounts. I only take long positions, and it will be a case of, for my first account, I'll generally enter on the morning of the day to see. There'll be some significant factors in terms of, do I think it's a good time or a bad time? But for most days, it would be a case of, I think, well, looking at the performance, unless I really think it's going to go down for whatever reason, I'll just enter, and I will then set an auto profit to take out for my target, and then I'll set an auto buy on my second account so that if it does dip a certain amount of points, generally it'd be around 50 points. We've had quite a lot of volatility recently, so I've started to stretch that more from it was more like if it dips 30 points, I'll buy in, and then 50 points. Even now, debating to put that even further away towards more of 75 points. But for my strategy that I'm altering for the time being now is based around how the market's reacting in observing what Tesla stock is doing on a day-to-day basis now in terms of the micro markets and the macro, with what is going on in the world currently, with the uncertainties in the economic structure of America, which obviously will impact us globally, here in the UK as well. So for my strategy, while it is altering, I will still keep my two accounts. That may be changing in the next 6 months or so, but that's due to me wanting to move capital to other places and start looking at investing elsewhere. So for now, I'm still going to keep the two accounts using the same structure in terms of one buys in, and I will be set with an auto buy-in if it does dip. Further, I will still only be taking long positions, and I will still only be trading Tesla. I'm not going to be trading anything else. I'm not going to be looking at other opportunities to make money. I'm just solely focused on studying Tesla, analysing it on a day-to-day basis, looking at how the market responds, what the reactions are, trying to gauge more of an understanding of the global economic structure, which I've realised can have such a significant impact. I did debate potentially taking some short positions again, but I've decided to stick with my long positions for the reason of, for my value in Tesla, I see over the long term, Tesla will only be going up. Yes, we have that short-term volatility in the market. However, I feel extremely confident in my execution to know that if I enter a long position, it doesn't matter how long I get stuck for. I've experienced quite a number of weeks of being stuck paying overnight fees, but I know in the long term it will go up and there'll be opportunity to exit profitably. So therefore, I will not short. So you may be asking by this point, what has changed about your strategy, Hayden? It seems no different. There doesn't seem to be any differing factors. What has changed, let me tell you, how I feel about day trading and looking. With a lot of recent trades, I say a lot of, pretty much all my recent trades, I've found that I am getting stuck for a longer period of time. Day trading, the concept of being I want to enter and exit on the same day ideally, I'm finding that my trades are taking a number of weeks to actually gain profit and be able to exit. Now that, I've done a lot of reflection and realised why that is coming up, and where my previous strategy of day trading, I've often been able to get in and out within a day, but there has been times that I've been stuck for a few days, a week, 2 weeks. And for the first sort of 4 or 5 months of trading, that was the case. The most I'd ever be stuck was sort of 2 weeks at a push. Generally, I was able to get out within a day or a couple of days. However, now what I've found, that was due to the market constantly being on the way up. When I started trading Tesla, I think it was around 600, whereas now we're looking at more $1,000 a share. And over the course of the sort of my first 4, 5, 6 months, all we saw that on average, the stock price was going up by 100 points each month. And I looked back on this and checked the data. So yes, within the sort of first month I started trading in June, we was looking at 500 and something, and it got up to about 600 towards the end of the month. In July, we were looking at around the 600s. In August, we started seeing it into the 700s, and so on and so on. Obviously, that meant if you were taking long positions, you were going to do well. However, what we've seen in the last couple months, since Elon announced on his Twitter feed that he will be selling off, or rather putting the poll on Twitter, should he sell a 10% stake in his stock of Tesla, what we've seen since then is just this huge volatility where the stock has peaked, I think it's been 1,240 or 45, around that, And we've then seen it fluctuate between there, so go from sort of 1200 down to like 900, and I think that its lowest we've seen recently is about 885. So we're seeing huge volatility there between like 900 and 1200. And on my last trade, I got out at around the 1200 mark and then entered another trade at 1200 with the expectation that we were seeing more positive news come out. That was just before we had the release of the minutes from the December Fed meeting, which obviously sent the whole stock market tumbling down, which means since then I've been stuck in a position. Therefore, what my new strategy will be is I'm going to move away from day trading and start looking at more swing trading and taking longer positions. And I do have this, as I've talked before, and if you've done anything in terms of trading or investing, you know that emotions are the last thing you want to be involved when you are trading or investing. Now, as soon as I get out of a trade, I often find the excitement wants me to get back in, and I want to be trading feeling that it's productive to be trading. That's where I'm making the money. And I've realised that now I need to develop more patience. If I've been stuck in 2 weeks, what does it matter if it takes me 5 days to enter a trade? And therefore my strategy is going to be of get out of trades and then look for the ideal opportunity to enter in more of a swing trade idea over a longer period of time of like a week, 2 weeks. And further, I'm going to start stepping away from observing the stock on a day-to-day basis. When for a long time where I've been trading for the first 6 months, I was just constantly every day, every other hour, just looking at what it's doing, just from my own interest, potentially components of an addictive nature in terms of getting that fix, that adrenaline of like, oh, what's it doing, what's it doing, what's it doing. And now I want to start to step away from that and make it more of a passive activity where we are seeing this window at the moment. I mean, if the sort of micro movements of the stock seems to start moving in a different direction, I'll probably have to change my strategy. However, my original strategy isn't working so well for me now, so that's where I've developed this new strategy in terms of I will exit my position when I can and then look for the opportunity. So obviously there I will be observing the market on a more of a day-to-day regular basis to see what it's doing, and where we are seeing this price range of 12 to 900, what I'll likely do is maybe not even observe it, just set auto buy-ins for my first account. So if I can exit at 12.10 say, then set an auto buy on my first account for if it dips to 1100, and then set an auto buy-in on my second account for 1000. That way I can just stop watching and know that we're going to see some volatility. I did debate obviously putting a short position in, given that we seem to be peaking around 1200 at the moment, but it's the stock market, we don't know what it could do. For all we know, Tesla's going to double in market value because everyone's going to start buying in with the pending release of the earnings call that's coming out later in the month. So therefore, yeah, as I said, setting up auto buy-ins for these prices, knowing that where the stock is being quite volatile and is moving between these brackets, I therefore want to look to enter around as close to 900 as possible. Although every time we sort of see 1200, I think we're not going to see 900 again. And it keeps happening. We get to 1200, and I think it's happened 2 or 3 times now. So therefore, my intention would be to enter around that 1100 or even 950 mark and be able to just wait. And even if I'm in my trade for 2 weeks with profit, I'll just set auto profit marks so that if I enter at 1000, I won't actually take profit until 1100, or if I enter 1100, I won't take profit until 1150, knowing that these numbers are perfectly achievable, but obviously keeping an eye on the micro movements of the market and keep an idea of what's going on in the global economy at the moment, as we could be on our way to a recession of some sorts in the coming months, which is another reason that I think about pausing trading entirely and just letting this year sort of take its place and look at focusing my capital in other areas. But if you've got a pending recession, there's a lot of debates of what to do. And those points, when you do hit a recession, you want to be cash rich. You don't want to be stuck with all your money stuck in a trade waiting months for it to come out, or invest in property just before a recession to then see that your value of your property be dropping dramatically, and hope you're not in a position where you need to release that capital. So that's where my strategy is changing, why I've changed it. Key fundamental is this, is that I've found that I've grown a lot of patience recently, and I think just in terms of my own mindfulness exercises, in terms of journaling, meditating, these different components, and as well just expressing and practicing a lot more gratitude on a day-to-day basis, it's given me a lot of patience for the now, for the moment. I've always been in a rush, set these goals that are a year, 5 years, 10 years away, and just been working as fast as I can to get to them, and having a lot of impatience and waking up every morning thinking, why am I not there yet? Why have I not achieved this? Just almost wishing my life away. Whereas now I'm finding that I'm embracing each day as it is, enjoying it, trying to embrace every moment, and even in the challenges, realizing, yes, this is a crappy moment, but it's potentially giving me a lot of learning opportunities in a way to grow from this. Therefore, I will embrace the opportunity to be stuck in what feels like a shitty situation. And therefore, with my trading, I want to apply that as well, is look to be more patient, look to hold his positions for longer, and rather than being in and out within the hour, it has a lot of impact on your own mind. It's a lot of emotional stress, and it's very much like if you think of The Wolf of Wall Street, you've got Matthew McConaughey and Leonardo DiCaprio when they go for lunch, and Matthew McConaughey's talking about all high frequency digits, acidic mustard above the shoulders, mustard shit. Like, it's that kind of thing, and that's what day trading's like. It's just this hugely emotional roller coaster, quite literally, of seeing your profit, and suddenly you're like, oh, I'm in profit, £100, £200, do I exit, oh, £500, do I exit, £1,000, and oh, I'm at minus 50 quid again. I want to escape that and be able to take longer positions, set my exit strategy, or set my parameters around auto buy-ins, auto profits. Therefore, I can step away, be more passive, remove my emotions more from it, and relax, and spend more of my time focusing on creating exceptional content. Let's hope I can get to exceptional content one day. That's my strategy, why it's changed. Hopefully it's giving you some value. And if you are trading and your strategy is changing, let me know in the comments below. Do you day trade? Do you not? Do you take more longer positions? Are you invested in any stocks? Are you worried about the pending recession potentially? Do you think there will be a recession or not? Let me know. And of course, if you have liked the video, please make sure to like and click subscribe to make sure you see all the new videos that are coming out. Thank you.